Hey, I'm not planning on going in depth for many of them. I am going to probably have to go in depth for the Culling Games arc because that's pretty much a saga. Let's just get right into it. There's basically 3 fights in the series. The first fight is Yuta, Maki, and Rika against this random curse. I don't remember what the grade it is or what it even is. Then there's this grade 2 cursed spirit fight with Toge and Yuta versus Geto basically because the rest of the first years at that time are cooked immediately. It's a pretty solid arc though, I have to say. I liked watching the movie and this was a pretty fun arc. A lot of character development. A tier. Next is the introduction arc and fearsome womb bar. We meet, of course, the main cast, Yuji, Megumi, and Gojo, and also Sukuna. In the same arc, we meet Nobara, and there's a couple fights. In the very first episode, we see this fight against the grade 2 cursed spirit. Megumi almost using Maharaga against Sukuna. Gojo pulls up and whoops Sukuna's ass. We meet Nobara and Yuji go and kill a grade 3 curse. I don't know why, but they were assigned a special grade mission curse. I definitely like the cursed child arc part, but this was a pretty solid introduction. I think it's an A tier. Next is the versus Mahito arc. I love this arc. I rewatched this like so many times. I really like this arc. Not counting Sukuna, this is the first main antagonist that we have because we meet Junpei and everything is going fine until Mahito decides to intervene, or I guess Mahito got his hands on Junpei first and Yuji only then came. But then as Junpei is convinced to finally go join Jujutsu High, Mahito actually gets his hands on Junpei and transfigurates him into a cursed spirit, and Yuji goes mad, and you know what happens next. We meet Naname. I think in between this arc and the fearsome womb arc, we see the Jogo and Gojo fight, which was really cool because of mainly this fight and in Shibuya arc where Jogo fought Sukuna. Because of those 2 fights, Jogo is really underestimated in Kaisen, but he's actually so strong. But yeah, this arc is either a high A tier or lowest, and I think let's put it in S tier right now. It was really fucking good. Next is the Goodwill arc. In this arc, we meet the other Jujutsu High school, which is in Kyoto and which is Sacred Land, and basically they have a transfer school fight. In the first half, it's more basically just a couple fights between side characters, not really much to comment here, but also there's the Todo and Yuji fight. Pretty interesting, and how Todo kinda saves Yuji, but then still like, you know what I mean, I hope. But then Hanami pulls up and starts wrecking everything. Basically, 3 teams go to fight Hanami at first. First is Toge, Kamo, and Megumi, which they don't really do much. All that happens is everyone gets very injured and Nue dies, or Nue gets very badly injured. Then the second team is Megumi and Maki versus Hanami, which does better, significantly better, but still not good enough. And the third fight is the main fight, which was actually choreography of the year, Todo and Yuji versus Hanami, which is a sick fight, really, really good. I liked how it ended. Yeah, we saw Gojo's strongest attack, Hollow Purple, but I think this is an high 8. I don't think I can rate it an S. It might go up, I don't know. Next is Death Painting Womb Bar. Basically, in this arc, there's 2 main battles. Megumi versus Special Grade Curse, and Yuji and Nobara versus Kechizu and Esso. I rewatched this arc so many times, but not the Yuji and Nobara part, but more of the Megumi part. Because he locked the fuck in. He was losing, he was about to do suicide with Maharaga. He decided that, nah, I ain't taking this kind of disrespect, and uses domain expansion, which is a sick moment. Even if it's an incomplete domain, I really, really like it. Yuji uses Black Flash again, but Nobara unlocks Black Flash, and that's the only time she uses Black Flash. And yeah, that's pretty much a quick rundown of the arc. B tier. Next is the Hidden Inventory arc. Basically, the first 3 episodes are fake to get you in the wrong atmosphere. Because first few episodes, sure, there's a couple fights, but they're not really that important. And we also meet my second favorite character in the series, Toji. If you're wondering, my favorite character is Choso and the third favorite is Geto. Basically, there's a few fodder fights. Toji comes and ruins everything for our main characters. Yeah, I'm not sure what to comment. Really cool fights. We see how Gojo unlocks reverse curse technique. Really cool. But I don't think I can rate this. It's a solid B. Next is the Shibuya arc. This is a very, very long arc. This basically was all of season 2. Okay, maybe not all of it, but a majority of season 2. This arc starts out with actually one of my favorite fights in the Shibuya incident, which was Mekamaru versus Mahito. A lot of people underestimate this fight, but I really, really like, or at least I really like. Maybe not everyone underestimates it, but I just really like it. There's a bunch of important fights. Let's go over the most important. Toji comes back. Gojo gets sealed. Mahito unlocks true soul body form. Dagon dies. Jogo dies. Mahito dies. Hanami dies. Holy shit. Nanami dies. Nobara dies. Holy fuck. He's alive. Basically, so many people die. I don't even want to think about it, but there's so many fucking great fights. But I think my favorite fight in this arc might have been Choso versus Itadori and Choso versus Kenjaku. Those two fights were insane. Of course, my third favorite fight is almost definitely Todo and Yuji versus Mahito. That was insanely cool. That was a quick rundown. I don't really want to go in depth because I don't want this video to end up being over 30 minutes again. So let's just put this in S tier. This is a really good arc, really important. And yeah, next is the perfect preparation. Basically, Mai sacrifices herself so Maki can have her full potential realized, and Maki kills all of the Zenin clan. It was cool to see, but with Maki killing the Zenin clan, there's only one of the three main clans remaining, which is the Kamo clan. Because Gojo is killed, and as I said, Maki killed all of the Zenin clan. Kamo is all that's left. But honestly, B tier. Next is the Yuji extermination arc. This was a very short arc. This was right after the Shibuya incident. Yeah, I think this arc was literally for like 5 chapters. It was cool, but we finally get to see Yuta in the main story, not including JJK0. I consider that either a prequel or a spin-off. So yeah, in the main story, this is where we finally see the third special grade in the series, because the first is obviously Gojo and the second is Geto. So officially the hidden inventory arc. Yuta is strong as fuck, we see, and this was really entertaining. Okay, it's either a high B tier or a low A tier. Let's put this in A tier. It's subject to change. Next is the Culling games. I'm going to say right now, this is my favorite arc in the series. Basically, in the Culling games, so much happens. Like, as you can see in the picture, there's a triple domain battle, which I thought was absolutely sick. This is one of my favorite moments in the entire series. I love this. By the way, I'm not going in order here. I'm just saying off the top of my head, which I remember. There's the Naoya Cursed Spirit fight. There's these father helicopter people. There's also my second favorite fight that included Megumi, which was the Reggie Star fight, which I think a lot of people trash on, but I think it's genuinely pretty good, especially for Megumi. Then there's of course the Higuruma fight, which Higuruma is a really cool character. He's like top 5 definitely. That's a really quick rundown because yeah, S tier, easy. Next is the Stars and Oil arc. I also really like this arc. For my personal enjoyment, I would rate it an S tier. This was also one of my top 3 favorite arcs. I love it. But because of writing and how Gege cheated Yuki and Choso out of their win, I can only put this in A tier. I can't put it higher. Either Gege decided midway through what he wanted to do with the story, at least at the time, or he genuinely made Yuki too overpowered and needed Kenjaku still in the story to push the plot. So that ended with Yuki's death. And yeah, but a really cool fight. A tier. This arc has 2 main names, but I'm going to refer to it as the Fallen Angel arc. In this arc, Megumi loses control of his body as Sukuna takes over. There's many fights, and probably most notably the Yorozu versus Sukuna fight, which I also think Sukuna should have lost this one, because Yorozu's perfect sphere ability might be the strongest ability in the entire series. It's more or less about as strong as Yuki's black hole, but Yorozu doesn't die when making it, so I guess you could say that Perfect Sphere is a better ability. Also, at the end of this arc, Gojo gets unsealed, and yeah, that's very important. So, if not for Yorozu losing, it would be A, but because of writing, B tier. And finally is the Shinjuku Showdown arc. And man, at the start, this was an amazing arc, S tier. But as this has been going on longer and longer, it's been getting worse and worse. Apart from one high. Like, at the start, there was Gojo versus Sukuna, which is unanimously agreed as one of the best fights in the series. And I have to thank Gege for this, because from the start, we wanted to see who is stronger, Gojo or 20-finger Sukuna. And we had that fight. Even though I am unhappy with the conclusion, I still think Gojo is stronger. Even though canonically Gojo lost, I still think he's stronger. Also, by the way, Gojo could have just ended this, like, in this moment right here. After Gojo lost, which I thought was bullshit, Kashimo pulls up, and I thought that this fight was going to be another 10-chapter fight. But no, it ended in 1.5 chapters. And I'm going to say this now, I think Yuta is stronger than Kashimo. This is actually a pretty popular debate on who's the 3rd strongest, because everyone can agree Gojo and Sukuna are the 1st and 2nd strongest. As I already said, I think Gojo is stronger. I think Yuta is stronger than Kashimo. The only argument that Kashimo fans use is speed, but everything else goes to Yuta, I think. Okay, maybe apart from experience as well. But yeah, Kashimo lost, which alright, I kind of understand, and Kashimo kind of forced Sukuna to use his Heian era form, which honestly, thinking back, I still have no idea how he got to his Heian body, which kind of makes no sense. Then Higaruma pulls up, which in this fight, again, I think Sukuna should have died, but sure, you gotta do what you gotta do, Gege, you gotta push out more volumes. Oh yeah, also in this arc, there's the Hakari versus Uraume fight, which, yeah, I guess, I don't know what that says, because that fight has been going on for 30 chapters. Like, come on, man. And there's also the Kenjaku versus Takaba fight, which I didn't read week to week, because I started reading the manga after the anime stopped airing, and at about the same time, that fight had stopped. So, reading through it wasn't that bad, but I heard that, and I can understand that reading week to week was probably terrible. The Yuta ends up killing Kenjaku, and pulls up, and this is the second high. I think Sukuna should have definitely died here, if not for everything. And yeah, then a few other characters pull up, and Kusakabe fights Sukuna, which is just wild, man. And Choso fucking dies, which, fuck you, Gege, you killed all of my favorite characters. Choso, Toji, Geto, why do you have to do this? At the time of recording this video, there's still 5 chapters to be released, and I've decided that I will not be reading week to week these final 5 chapters, and I'll binge them all when they all release. So yeah, but I have seen a leak on Twitter which made me really upset because it spoiled a big part of the story for me, and yeah. But in general, the fights are really cool. The story is not that good, so if it were just fights, it would be probably S tier. But because of poor writing, honestly, it has to be A tier. Alright, after thinking about it a little bit, I think that the only one that I would want to change is the perfect preparation arc, because there's only 2 major things that happened here. The Zenin clan being wiped out and Maki unlocking their full potential. Nothing else. But, I mean, sure, let's keep it at D tier. Hey, really quickly, I want to say thank you so much for the recent support. Before I uploaded the last video, not including this one, I had 97 subscribers, and right now, I have 155. Holy shit, thank you guys so much for recent support. I genuinely don't know what to say. I will keep trying my best to upload every Monday. I hope you enjoy watching the videos as much as I do making them. So yeah, back to the video. And because of personal bias, I really want to prove up this arc. The Blood, Stars, and Oil arc. I'm not going to change that. So this is pretty much my final list. If you disagree with something, please be sure to write in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!